All right, guys, so we're now officially in the review portion of the video. If you haven't seen the full playthrough, definitely click the link in the description because it is actually an epic ending, one of the best that we've had. So definitely you're going to want to check that 100%. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, this is a game called Furtherance by Brent and Jillian Keith, and they were generous enough to send us a copy to review and just have a good time with, unpaid, just have a good time and give our honest opinion about it. Let's get into this game a little bit. So, guys, basically this game,
You might want to see it so that you know.
That's smart.
I moved my cards so that you cannot see the ending. So you're going to have to go back.
Yeah, good stuff. Spoilers.
For the ending.
Nice. That was really smart. So basically, guys, we're building up.
In case you didn't see that.
We are oh my golly. Did you move these?
Yeah, I just did. Push
into this battle out here. Oh no.
I forgot totally about my guy the entire time.
No. You might have actually, could you have it?
I can take extra turns.
You could have taken extra turns twice.
All right. It's all right. It's all right.
Oh man, that is horrible. So too bad, too late. You know what I mean?
You still don't know how it ends, so you still have to check it out.
So we have a lot of worker placement games, and dice placement games, just different kind of, they're all unique in their own way, but like we've been playing some games with different types of gameplay, a much different style.
Yeah.
Like I was actually trying to think of games that we played like this, and I couldn't really think of something that we played that was like this game.
Can you explain where the castle placement and stuff is, since they may not have?
Yeah, so basically we have these castles here, guys, and we put our units out. These are units right here. You can put them out, and the cards themselves actually move around the board, and they each have their own strengths, their own strengths and health, and they all have some of them. Like this guy doesn't, because he's the juggernaut, right? That's enough said, right? But like then you have the people like the assassin. They have their own special abilities, and it's cool to have this like little, it's very tactical out here, right? You have to be very smart about how you move your people around, where and when you play them, because if you move too close to somebody, it's very easy, because everybody gets to move up to 2 spaces, right? Every unit. So if she moves too close to me, but she can't, like, this assassin right here is epic, right? He can just kill anybody. He just chops them and they're done. But if she moves too close to me, I can easily come out because he only has a health of 1 and just take him out. So she has to be very tactical about where she's putting these people. And I love that this game offers this like tactical skirmish with also like this overreaching strategy out here where you're building up buildings with victory points and you have items and workers. And there's a bunch of other upgrades for workers. So it makes it it's just cool to have strategy and, a tactical gameplay.
And in a 2-player game, you can either build up your buildings and get victory points that way, or you can destroy someone else's castle and win that way.
Yeah.
So you have 2 different goals that you're going for, which both require 2 very different strategies.
It is so true. Because at first I was building up my army and I was coming after you and I was taking all your people, but then you started doing a lot of research. And because you started researching, you found all these epic, just
my units were pretty special.
Her units were stacked.
Special ops going on.
You did. And so then she started bringing these guys. I was coming in and she absolutely just destroyed me and then became this like powerhouse. And so it made I had to completely back off. I was like, I would never surrender, but I basically did. I retreated completely into the comfort of the castle and I just waited there.
Yeah.
I literally just waited there and I completely changed my strategy.
Yeah.
So
that's good to note too, that you can change your strategy 75% into the game and possibly swing it around.
Thank you. I'm glad you said, because that's where I was going with that. I forgot where I was going with that. Sometimes I ride that long train. I just forget where the train's going. So what I'm saying is I thought this building up your victory points here is way better than building up an army. This game's about building an army. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep building buildings and I'm going to let you attack my castle, get 1 hit at a time. And I'm just going to build these up and it's going to be game over. But at the very end, she actually came in with all of her like just diesel, crazy, people or units. And she started taking out all my guys here. The only thing that she has to do after that is actually, I forgot she could destroy my buildings. So she was almost 1 turn away from destroying my buildings. All my victory points would have gone.
It would have crumbled.
It would have crumbled. So it was insane that it came down to this last, like normally when you play.
Don't tell them how it ends though.
Normally when you play like a worker placement game or something like that, it comes down to it based on like an economy, right? There's like a market, you're both producing and getting all these victory points based on goods and stuff like that. When you find a game like this where you're actually battling, going to war, and it still comes down to this final moment, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That makes it epic. I love that. I don't know. It's just two very different strategies. And
so it was kind of like, what was that game on the wall? What was it?
After the Empire. After the Empire. Yeah.
I think of on the wall because you had to build walls after the Empire. So it was a little bit like that. The play is still pretty different, but you have to build up your building and you have to recruit your army, and then you have to battle. And
I guess what we're doing here is trying to, compare it to another game that we played, and because I could not think of one, and she actually thought of After the Empire. So that, it's kind of that similar type of gameplay. But I will say that when in a game like After the Empire, the reason that it didn't sit as well with me as this game is because in that one, you only have a certain board of like actions that you do. You put one, you get 3 wood. You put one here, you get this thing. And so after a while, it became very repetitive for me. You destroyed my building. All right, well, let's get 4 more brick. Let's get 4 more. This game,
and the attacks that came out were sometimes like so brutal.
They were so brutal.
They were so brutal.
Yeah.
They destroyed everything that you had just worked for like the past 5 turns. So
because you don't, the worker placement was very hard to get. I mean, it was like you got stuff, but then you had to immediately use it. Yeah. The reason I like a game like this where you have cards is because it just offers that it's the much needed variety that you need in a game like this, where it could be very repetitive without the variety of cards. And again, you have all these building cards out here that some are victory points, which is obviously what I went for over here. Some are just going to be just abilities. And then you have items that you can use, which are incredibly dynamic. Right. And then your units are all very different. So every game, it's going to be different.
I also like the illustrations on each of the cards. We talked about that in the playthrough too. They're so small that they don't necessarily jump out at you. But when you take a minute and look at the illustrations, they're actually pretty awesome.
They are awesome.
They're very cartoony, comic style.
Yeah, like that. It's just good. It's just lighthearted. I love that about it. It's good. I really like the art.
Is like scaring this little kid. I don't know if you can see that or not. But
yeah, that's what a Juggernaut does. I mentioned this before. The components are beautiful. They have this really nice, like smooth.
Glossy,
I don't even know what this
feel.
is. It's like silk, dude. These cards feel amazing. It was the first thing I noticed when I pulled this out of the box. I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
He's like, can you fill these? Like, sure.
I really appreciate those things in a game. I'm gonna be totally honest. When I first brought this out and was reading the rules, I was a little worried about this whole combat. I was like, how is this gonna be fun in such a small area?
It looks like such a tiny area. I thought that too. I was like, we have like 9 squares to battle.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work. So it feels like what it's cool about it. It feels like a game of chess out here. This guy's just muscle, you know what I mean? Right. Some of the other ones have a lot of other abilities on them. There's a bunch of other cards.
But the shield bearer
was he was my boy. He was
so clutch for him. And
oh
got
my!
2 of them. I didn't get a chance to get one of them.
He was so clutch.
Let's say my archer would have done a little bit more damage.
Yeah.
If that would have been the case, but so the shield bearer, you can just take all of their.
Like adjacent people, if they took damage, shield bearer just took it for him.
And he could just take from each person and they just stay alive. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
At one point, I had him in a corner right here with 2 guys here and here. Yeah, and every time she tried to hit him, shield bearer just taking it for the team, taking it right to the chest. Okay. and then I had a potion which removed all of the stuff from the shield bearer, and he was back. He was back.
Yeah.
Again, I thought it was just gonna be this like jam of just this mesh of like this is too much. Everybody's gonna kill each other. It was never like that. It was constant moving.
There were several epic moments that just
clashes. Several epic clashes.
Kingdoms fell and kingdoms rose.
They really did. It really had that feeling.
Strategy crumbled and you had to rebuild. And
it did.
It was war.
I will say this. I wanted to mention this. Very, very little downtime between turns.
Yeah, the turns are really, really fast.
They're really fast, and even when there is downtime where you're attacking, I'm sitting there like sweating, watching what you're doing, and it's very intense because she had her people out here and she like turned them toward me.
I did it for her.
she did it for effect, but it was actually worked. And so she had her people out here, like her assassins, just sitting here intimidating me, and I had one guy out here, and I was like, oh my golly, I gotta finish this game.
It's like, move.
Yeah. It was really intense the whole time. It was really intense the whole time, and you couldn't just do one thing. You had to build everything up.
It's like every single turn. What are you going to do? Are you going to attack me? Are you not going to attack me?
And I think it'd be really cool with 4 players. You're going to have a lot more chaos, right? But it's gonna be and here's the thing, with 4 players, if you get your castle destroyed or whatever, you're eliminated from the game. So so you're just sitting there eating orange slices, you know what I mean, taking a break. This game, I want to say this the right way. Some games, they're too heavy for what they are. I think this game knew exactly what it was trying to be, and it did it really well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because it's games like this where this game doesn't need to be super heavy. It has plenty of cards. It has plenty of buildings, items, units. That is heavy enough. Like, just learning all those things and how they interact is heavy enough. Some games will present all these different rules, and I'm like, oh my golly, this guy attacks this guy. This building collapses. This wall gets the minus. It's exhausting.
Look how big this rule book is.
Yeah, it's pretty thin.
I mean, the interaction is heavy enough.
Exactly. Exactly.
I didn't think it needed a bunch of rules because the strategy that it takes just to keep your units on the board and to build up your castle.
Yep.
I mean, that is heavy enough. Yeah, for sure.
So, for me, one thing that I didn't necessarily love was sitting over here trying to read cursive.
Right.
You know, old English cursive. I do actually, like, up close, I love the text.
Right.
I think it you know, when you're going through, sitting on Microsoft Word, probably just going through all the fonts, like, this is just not right. He had a great choice here.
Right, absolutely.
You know, it's like the old English, like, kind of, holy day, there's a hair. That's what I got to deal with constantly. It's my life. So the text to read from over there on those little baby unit cards is impossible. I have 1920 vision right now with my context, and outside I have like 400 or something.
1920.
Isn't that something? 2021 or 2120 or something. Like, sorry, I don't know.
2020, maybe 2015.
2015. That's yeah, or whatever. I don't know.
2019.
Whatever. I cannot read. Really, I'm gonna be honest. I can't read any of it. I can see I can see what they cost and things like that, but I cannot read any of the text on there. So I had to get her to read most of it, or I had to be like up in her business, like that. You know what I mean? And that's not gonna go well on a first date either. You know what I mean? Like that.
And it's not gonna go well with like a bunch of dudes.
Dudes.
Maybe
getting all chesty.
Maybe
I don't know. Who knows? But
and also, I don't think he could have done it any other way. I don't think he could have done it differently and still made it to
where those cards were the size.
These cards were the right size.
Yes, so, I agree.
Did you get your extra worker when you got to 5 or when you got to 4?
4.
Why?
Because right when you hit 4, it says receive worker. Oh no.
He cheated. I didn't use my player, and he used his too soon. No. So
yeah, I might have cheated just a bit.
Review that.
I got a worker of 4 instead of 5 because this guy right here that gave me an extra victory point. I should have. This guy says you get an extra worker at 5 instead of 4. Whoop-de-doo.
That made a big impact because he's like, look how much money I can get.
I was getting a lot of stuff. It would have been close still. Anyway.
We'll see.
We'll just call it,
Yeah, because listen, oh my goodness. If you wouldn't have gotten that extra,
you might have actually won.
I would have won because you used because you used all 3 of your workers the last time to build that building.
Okay, there's a chance she might have won. If there's one rule, okay, whatever. All right, you go tell us. You watch the full playthrough and let us know what you think. Okay, it would have been close. It was still a great game.
Listen, y'all.
But this always happens.
Yeah, it always happens.
Just let me enjoy the victory.
Nope.
Even if it isn't legit.
I'm going to say that I won that one.
Okay, that's fair. We all know. Okay, so...
No, we don't.
We really don't. But yeah, guys, that was our review and playthrough. Well, playthrough if you watch it. Review if you're just watching the review.
Yes.
Of Furtherance, again, by Brent and Jillian Keith. And thank you guys again for sending us a copy review. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really good time. And guys, be sure again to check out Paper Company coming to Kickstarter soon. Early, I don't want to say Q2 because some people are like, actually, that's not exactly Q2. It's actually the end of Q1. You know what I mean? So it's, I believe, they're gonna be like really pushing for it at the end of February. So whenever you guys see this video, just understand that's coming and check out the link in the description for the Kickstarter. So thank you guys for joining us on this game where we aren't sure who won, but I'm still willing to take the win. It was a great time.
Not if we play it again. I'm gonna go first.
We won't know who goes first.
I'm telling you.
Oh my golly. Okay. That's how marriage works, guys. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the playthrough or the review or the playthrough or any,
Or
if
both.
you just enjoyed any part of this at all, please like and subscribe because we're going to keep bringing it.
And ring the bell for the notos.
Ring that beautiful bell. Okay, you beautiful bells.
People.
So,
Equality, babe.
Equality, yes. There's a lot of equality talk, and if you guys, never mind. Golly, it's so hard to finish these things. Okay. So anyway, golly, please like and subscribe, guys, if you like us, okay? I like you. So, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Or day. Just end it.
Next night or day? What'd you say?
Just end it. All right. Later, guys.